¿Qué lo que chico? ¿Qué lo que chico? Mira esa vaina, el podcast, mira. Bienvenidos a la Freakquency con tu papá de las flores, your floral father. That shit does not have the same ring to it in Spanish, bro. El padre de los flores. That sounds too soap opera-y. That sounds too fucking Telemundo. Próximamente en Telemundo, el padre de las flores, de los flores. Because technically it would be los. That would be male flowers. And las would be female flowers. But I don't know, bro. I'm not out here checking the genitalia on flowers to know what's what, bro. A flower's a flower to me, dog. Anyways, how's everybody's pants fitting? Everybody's pants fit okay? Belt still goes on the same hole? Still fits on the same loop? Because I imagine everybody's gained at least 25 pounds from last night's feast, bro. Yesterday was Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving. If you're a stoner, bro. I remember growing up, bro, I would have Thanksgivings with some friends or with some family, and then like all the stoners or just my friends, I would like see what they're doing on Instagram, and they'd be like, Thanksgiving. And they're getting hella faded before that big ass feast that you have on Thanksgiving. But I guess it makes sense, bro. Because then you got the super munchies. You come back with the super munchies and there's a whole turkey and stuffing and mashed potatoes. It's a feast in front of you. So why not get faded before it? It makes sense. I've never done it. I don't smoke. I don't like to do that. I don't partake in the devil's lettuce. I'm a new man. I found Christ, bro. So I don't do that. But anyways, I hope Thanksgiving was amazing for everybody, bro. I'm filming this on Wednesday, so technically Thanksgiving hasn't happened for me. But now that La Frequencia drops on Frequency Fridays, welcome to another edition of Frequency Fridays, the Friday after Thanksgiving. I hope everyone enjoyed, man. And I want to say, as cheesy as it sounds, let's start this podcast with some shit we're thankful for, bro. Obviously, I'm thankful for y'all, man. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of this. Thank you for tuning in to any episode of this, bro. Whether you're listening to this or reruns or you checked out one ever, I'm thankful for you that you even gave it a chance, gave it an opportunity. And I'm thankful for everyone that does look forward to this weekly, looks forward to this content, looks forward to this podcast. So I'm thankful for you guys. Obviously, I'm thankful for my mom, my dad, my sister, bro. My immediate family means the world to me. I'd be nothing without them. They really have been influential in my growth. They've been influential in me becoming the man I am today. And I just have so much love for them, bro. No family is perfect, but I really did truly get blessed with the family I do have. And then outside of that, I'm super thankful for my extended family, man. My primos, tias, tios, everybody, bro. Primos, like whoever, man. I'm so thankful for my extended family because they're cool as fuck. And I know that though I may not talk to them as much as I talk to my regular family, and though I may not talk to even them as much as I'd like to, I'm still thankful for all these people, and I'm thankful that they've supported me, and even if they're not supporting me, they're still cool at family gatherings, when I see them at Christmas time or Thanksgiving or whatever the fuck it is, bro. And recently, I didn't really want to touch on this in my podcast today, but it's something that has been on my mind lately. My uncle, man, just passed away, and that's really sad, bro, because he wasn't really my uncle. It was my dad's best friend, but he's been around since I was in diapers. I remember I have pictures of us in Mulegé, and he's holding me, bro. I'm in diapers, and my tío chef, he's holding me, man. And then he would always tell me stories of every time I saw him, even till recently, bro. When I'd see him, he'd be like, I remember when you were in diapers, mijo, and I was holding you in my arm. You were the size of a pinche un bebé, He would just talk so crazy, but he would always tell me stories, and like he's been around my whole life, man. And some of my core memories growing up, bro, is my dad and him just fucking getting hammered, bro, and saying the most vulgar, out of pocket, but funniest shit, bro. The conversations they would have were so ridiculous that it's a lot of it. My dad has a lot of influence in the type of comedy and humor that I have today. He has influenced my comedy more than anyone has. But him and my tío chef, bro, they also were liked. I looked up to the way they spoke to each other, even though it was so foul and vulgar, because I thought it was the funniest thing. Some of my oldest memories were them talking to each other and just saying the most out-of-pocket shit. And it was like before I even know what roasting was, they were roasting each other and laughing, and they never took anything personal, and they were always just laughing their ass off, man. And yeah, he recently just passed. I felt weird. Obviously, I felt sad, but I'm more so, I wanted to reach out to my dad, bro. I called him the day it happened because my dad's going through it, man. My dad is one of the strongest people I know, but, you know, everybody goes through it sometimes, and when it rains, it pours. His cat just passed away, and now his best friend might deal. So, Dad, I know you watch my podcast, bro. I love you. I told you on the phone, feel free to reach out anytime, because your family loves you. We're backing you up, and we're here to support you through everything. And to my Theo's family, man, like, I love them too, bro. It's just sad for the whole family. But on the topic of gratefulness and things that I'm thankful for, I'm thankful that I got to know my Theo, man. I'm thankful that he was around in my life, and I'm thankful. Dude, it's crazy. Like, I just saw him. I'm sorry, bro. This is why I didn't want to talk about it, bro, because I don't really fucking tear up, and I never get emotional or anything on this podcast, but just talking about it is fucking sad, man. Because he was like a big part of my life. We may not have been the closest, but he was fucking around, bro. So I'm thankful that I got to know him. I'm thankful for the memories I have with him. And, man, it's just like, I hope that yesterday, man, when everybody was with their families or wherever you were on Thanksgiving, bro, just hug everyone a little tighter, dude. Hug your mom, your dad, your sister, like whoever, bro. Hug them a little tighter. I wish I could be home. Like, now that this happened, and I'm spending Thanksgiving here in LA with my girl's family, man, and I'm fucking thankful for her and her family. They've taken me in as one of their own, and I couldn't be more blessed. But it's like, I do wish I could be with my dad. I do wish I could be with my sister. I wish I could be with my mom, bro. I wish I could be with my family, because they're amazing, dude. So it's only making me look forward to the holidays a little more, because I'm going to be with them. But, fuck, dude. Just hug your family, man. Hug your friends. Hug everybody, bro. And let them know you love them. This has been, like, eye-opening to me, bro, because this tells me, like, I sometimes I don't know what it is, bro. I just think I'm, like, too busy or too cool or too something that's going on that, like, I don't reach out to my family nearly as much as I should. And it's, like, it's so dumb, bro. Like, this life shit, it comes and goes. It's like, what? Who cares? Like, reach out to them. Let them know you love them. Even if you sound like a crazy person, text whoever you want to text. Like, tell your friends you love them. Be grateful for the people in your life, man, because anything can switch up at any moment. And you don't want to end something, you know, without truly letting someone know that you are grateful and thankful for them. But besides that, man, I'm fucking thankful for my cat children. I'm thankful for this apartment. I'm thankful for this podcast. I'm thankful for just everything in my life, man. I'm thankful that I get to wake up and have a breath, and the sun comes in and the birds are chirping. Not right now because it's nighttime, but the birds are chirping, and I get to go to the gym, and I get to focus on myself and surround myself in the things I love. And I'm thankful for all the opportunities I've gotten through this year, man. I didn't mean to start the podcast like this, all fucking teary-eyed and shit, but yeah, man. And like I said, I'm thankful for y'all. I love you guys. So let's get into the podcast. I have a shout out coming in later on this story, but the topic and themes for today's podcast took a full 180, bro. I literally was on the phone with my girl yesterday, and I was so excited. I was telling her, I was like, yeah, when I record the pod, I'm going to talk about this, and this. And the original topic and theme for today's podcast was going to be on the loneliness epidemic. It was going to be on the spike in rates of virginity in men, especially men under 30. It's around 27% of men 30 and below are virgins and have claimed not having sex in their whole 30 years on Earth. And I was going to talk about why those rates are spiking. I was going to talk about how OnlyFans is rising in popularity right now, when it's just, you know, the loneliest people have ever felt. yada, yada. I was going to talk about all this stuff, and then I was going to give some advice that I've implemented into my life that could help you if you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling like you want to get some bitches on your dick or whatever the fuck, bro. I was going to give some top G advice like that. And then I decided to do a 180 because earlier in the week, I told myself I was going to go on a dopamine detox. And so I deleted the things that distract me the most in my current life and in my current state. And that's YouTube. Obviously, I had the episode on social media last week and I deleted Twitter. And then since that episode, I realized I'm still distracted. I'm still not tackling and accomplishing the simple tasks throughout my day that I know I can. I could be way more fucking productive throughout my day if I keep limiting and chipping away at the distractions. So I deleted YouTube off my phone, which really has the highest hours spent in my screen time. I spend the most amount of my screen time on YouTube consuming content. And I watched a video where this guy was saying, even if you're watching self-improvement content, you're still not improving your own life. You're getting a lot of useful knowledge and information, but if you're not actually implementing that or working in your own life, investing into your own work, into your own career, into your own finances and stuff, then this is kind of just like productive procrastination is what you're doing. And he's like, I'm saying that as a YouTuber. I'm saying that as I want you to watch my content because it's going to get me views. It's going to boost me in the algorithm. It's going to get me monetization, yada, yada, yada. But he's like, but I also want you to win. And he's like, and you're not going to do that constantly distracting yourself on YouTube. And that was kind of like a little wake up call I needed. So I deleted YouTube and I deleted, what was the other one? TikTok. I don't really go on TikTok too much, but I deleted that shit too. No video content. I kept Instagram, but I feel like I can keep I can be in charge of my Instagram consumption. You know, that's not really one that I'm like, oh my God, this is taking up all my fucking time. You know, it's YouTube. And then I noticed after a day or two of that, like I felt so much more motivated and I was like, I'm going to tackle the tasks that have been challenging to me or that I've been putting off because they've seemed too hard. And I said this a lot on this podcast. Those tasks were music. I had all this collection and catalog of music done and recorded and ready to go since this time last year. And I finally sat down and I started really getting deep with the vocal processing because it's all vocal driven music. It's a lot of like punk music. It's a lot of emo, edgier, kind of darker shit. And I made it in a time of my life this time last year, when I was getting out of a breakup and I was just writing a lot of music. I was really depressed. I was really not in a proper headspace. And because of that, I was writing, to me personally, some of the best music that I've written in terms of lyrics and lyrically. And now finally I got to the point where I was like, I'm processing it. This has been sitting around collecting dust on my hard drive for a year. These are songs I really resonated with at a certain point in my life. And as I was mixing down this music, I realized there's been so much growth as a person since the day I sat down and wrote this song, since the way I felt when I wrote these tracks. And now that I'm mixing them down and doing the vocals and actually listening to the lyrics, I was like, I've come such a long way in a year. And that's what I want to talk about today, is how much growth you can accomplish and achieve in a year and how you can take yourself from one of the lowest points of your life to a place where, you know, besides things that are out of my control, like my Theo passing, it's sad, and just other little random shit. Besides stuff like that, my life is still amazing, bro. I've worked my way to a point where I'm happy and in love with the person I am. I'm happy that I get to live day to day. I'm happy that I get to wake up and breathe air when just a year ago, I didn't want to fucking wake up at all, bro. It's like so much growth can happen in a year. And I'm going to play the song for you guys too. I want you guys to listen to the lyrics and stuff, but it's like the way I felt in this song is not even the same person that I am today, is what I'm trying to get at. this is a super depressed, emo, sad boy version of myself. And though it made for great music, and though I'm proud of the music, that's not me anymore. And I'm here to tell you that it gets better, bro. Life keeps ripping. Sometimes it's going to throw some curveballs. Sometimes it's going to kick you in the fucking balls, bro. But if you get up and you say, hey, life, you're my bitch. You work for me. Because I create my own reality. I create the world around me. And it starts with taking care of myself. And it starts with doing the right thing for myself. That's when life really starts ripping. So I'm going to play this song. It's a fucking bop. I also just want to show it to you guys. I'll probably release it next year. I want to shoot a music video for it. I want an actual release. And I'm going to release this as a single. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to release it on an EP or a whole fucking album, dude. Because like I said, I wrote so much music in this time period last year because I felt so low, and I was channeling those emotions artistically into my songwriting, into my production, into all these things. And so now I just have a fat catalog of songs, and I might just release them all together, just get it out of the way, name it something stupid like a bunch of shitty breakup songs or something. I'm gonna name it something dumb. But I'm talking too much, bro. I'm just gonna fucking play the song for you.
Trying to forget that you exist to me, 'cause I can't take it anymore. Throw away our memories and history, and scar away an open sword. 'Cause I'm broken and I'm bruised from the damage that you do. Make it go away. I need you to go away. Climb up a tower and jump from the top. Ready for death as I fall and I drop. Free up my soul when I meet with the pavement. 'Cause your love is enslavement. You falling with me 'cause you never leave my head. You'll be evicted when I'm lifeless and I'm dead. But when I shatter and my blood gets mocked, and my final breath is through, the beating in my chest won't stop. 'Cause my heart lives on for you. It's so familiar, familiar to me. It's so familiar, all this frequent agony. Trying to forget that you exist to me, 'cause I can't take it anymore. Throw away our memories and history, and scar away an open sore. 'Cause I'm broken and I'm bruised from the damage that you do. Make it go away. I need you to go away. And I sharpen the knife that you set on my back as you thrust, and I'm wondering why. You say that you love me, but at me like that with no trust. Finish me quicker, cut open my jugular. But you just wanna see me feel the pain. You kill in ways so inhumane. And I'll grow colder as my blood gets drained. And you'll see the color leave my face. Eyes are glossy and my glare sustained. But emotions cannot be erased. And a part of me won't live inside my grave. 'Cause you still own my heart, your name's engraved. Trying to forget that you exist to me, 'cause I can't take it anymore. Throw away our memories and history, and scar away an open sore. 'Cause I'm broken and I'm bruised from the damage that you do. Make it go away. I need you to go away.
Try to guess what that song's called. I'll give you a minute. It was only the 2 words that were said the most throughout that song. But that's a song called Go Away. It's going to be the single off, like I said, my EP or my album. I'm not sure yet. And the whole EP and album is going to be that vibe. It's going to be a lot of punk, emo stuff like that. Obviously, these vocals aren't done. This mix is not done. There's still a lot of work that has to be put into this song, but I got it up to a demo point where I wanted to show it off to you guys, and I'm excited, and I can finally play this song fucking proudly for the listeners of my podcast, and I can be proud of the work I'm doing. And in a way, I'm thankful. Back on that topic of being thankful, I'm thankful for that dopamine detox. I'm thankful for fucking having to sit down with myself and keep it real with myself and keep myself in check and be like, hey, you're wasting a lot of time in stuff that isn't benefiting you at all. There's literally, it's been a year of procrastination. And though, like I said, I made a lot of growth, these songs should have came out in March of this year. They should have came out April of this year. This album should have been out already. But I'm glad in a sense that it's not out. Because like I said, since it's been a year, it's given me a lot of time to just think about the progression and how far I've actually come. Because in this song, I'm literally talking about, like, to put it blunt or just to, trigger warning, but I'm talking about fucking killing myself in this song, bro. I'm basically saying I'm going to kill myself because I got killed by the person I trusted most already. Emotionally, I'm dead on the inside, And that's super edgy and it's super cool and that's so fucking punk rock. But at the time, those are the raw emotions I was feeling, bro. And obviously, I wrote this song right when I got out of my last breakup. And that was kind of hard for me. But in a way, back on the topic of thankfulness, I'm fucking thankful for the death of that relationship because it forged me into the person I am today. I had to do a lot of soul searching. I had to do a lot of work, and I had to go in and relive a lot of past traumas from my life, from childhood, from growing up. I had to see what it was inside of me that was making me act the way I was, why I ended up with a dependency on alcohol, why I ended up with a fucking God complex sometimes, and why other days I felt like I was insignificant and like I didn't even matter. I had to do a lot of, in a way, holistic healing. And I'm obviously still healing. Everybody's still healing. If you're not growing, then you're not evolving. You're not getting better. And that's bad. You should always be growing. You should always be evolving. And I'm still on my own journey, but I'm so happy with where I am now, and I'm going to get a little bit into that and a little personal. I didn't expect to be this fucking personal on today's podcast, but fuck it, we're balls deep now. So after this intermission, bro, I'm going to give some stories and accounts of how I felt at that time, a couple people who helped me get out of that funk, and a couple people who were there along the ride to get me to where I am now. So thanks for riding with me, bro. Mwah. I'm thankful for y'all. Happy fucking Thanksgiving. Mwah. I'll be back. I just spilled a little bit of aha on the table, but that's all right. Let's get back to your regularly scheduled program. So 1 year of self-improvement. What's that like? Well, let's start at the beginning, man. This time last year, like I said, I was really depressed, and most of it was due to the relationship I was in. It had just ended, and it ended really bad, really ugly, and we lived together. So I was seeing this person every day, and we worked together. Our lives were so interconnected, it was incredible. It was really dumb. But because of that, our job ended. It was seasonal. It was Halloween Horror Nights. It ended in October, and I told myself and her, I was like, hey, I think for the sanity of the two of us, since this relationship has come ablaze, I was like, I'm gonna just go to Vegas for a month. I was like, I already talked to my dad. He said I'm more than welcome to come hang out. So I'm just gonna go to Vegas for the whole month of November. I'm gonna enjoy Thanksgiving out there. I'm just gonna leave. And so I packed all my shit, bro, in this room, and I fucked off for a whole month. And when I got to Vegas, obviously, I'm sad. I'm getting out of a breakup. I'm depressed. A lot of it has to do with the relationship. And I'm not feeling very cash money. Super, again, thankful on the topic of thankfulness. Super thankful for my dad for taking me in and being so cool with it. He was like, you always have a home here. You're welcome over anytime. He's like, he Airbnbs that little room that I was staying in. He's like, I'll take it off Airbnb for the month. It's all yours. Stay as long as you need, son. Stay as long as you need. And I was like, thanks, Dad. So I was really going out there to clear my head. But I was telling myself, oh, I'm going to heal, I'm going to heal, I'm going to get better and all this stuff. But the ways and the mechanisms which I was using to heal weren't really working in my favor, and they weren't really benefiting me. I have another song that I wrote during that time, and one of the bars in that song is, never really healing, baby, I was numbing. And the things I was doing to numb the pain, I knew were bad, bro. I went to Vegas and I would go out every night. I would try to distract myself. I'd be like, the best way to get it off your mind is to hang out with other people and be around friends. This is the gaslighting I was telling myself. Be around friends and be around loved ones and be around this. And in a way, I was around my dad. And when I was around my dad, I felt safe. He kept it real. I felt like I was hanging out with one of my boys, you know? But then when I would go out with my friends, we would just fucking drink, or we'd get fucking thrashed and just drink a lot. And that's one of the first things that I was doing when I was trying to cope, is even before I went to Vegas, bro. I remember sitting in this podcast chair, the co-host chair, Negrito Baby's chair, and just killing a fucking 6-pack of IPAs by myself, sitting there and literally killing half a bottle of rum, more than half a bottle of rum and eggnog, just by myself, sad and triste by myself, trying to get over this relationship because it was so new. It had just ended, you know? And then when I went to Vegas, it's Sin City now, bro. That's the whole culture out there, is to drink and get fucked up and party. So then I would go out every night to try to distract myself, and I would just distract myself with more alcohol. And with alcohol, obviously, comes dumb decisions and a lot of bad stuff. I remember I was at a low point. And when you're at a low point, this is such a dumb cliche, but a lot of people say the best way to get over someone is to get under someone else, you know? And so then I would get really drunk and I would sleep with a bunch of random girls, not even random. One of them was my friend. Since we're getting into it, bro, the nitty gritty details. I hooked up with one of my friends and she was having like a party and I went over there. She invited me. She's like, oh, you're in town? Come over. So we did this whole party. And then afterwards she was like, you should stay. And I was like, all right, cool. And then we hooked up. But I didn't feel any better afterwards. You get that little high during the act or like for a day after, you know, but deep down inside, I was still sad. It didn't make me feel any like I was magically healed or anything, you know? And then like a day or two later, one of her friends that I met at that party hit me up and she's like, yo, I'm at this bar or club. I don't even know what it is. She's like, I'm at this bar. You should come. And I was like, I mean, I'm already in bed. It's fucking 1:30 in the morning, bro. That's the thing about Vegas. That shit don't sleep. Bars are open till like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. I don't even think they close. So it's 1:30. I'm in bed. I was like, whatever. And so I change and I go and I meet up with this girl. And of course, we start getting super drunk. And then I hook up with her. And then I'm feeling like the man that day because I'm like, wow, I've hooked up with 2 girls in the past like day or two. I'm not even saying this to like flex or do anything. I'm telling you guys, this is what happened. And I did it from a place of I'm hurt and this is going to heal me. But it wasn't healing me. It was used as a coping mechanism. The alcohol wasn't healing me. It was numbing the feelings that I didn't want to feel. I was pushing them away because it hurt too much to sit there and be still with my own thoughts. Be still with myself. Be still with the person I was. And here's another story I'll tell. And I don't want to tell this story because my parents listen to my podcast. But if I'm going to be real with you guys, this is another thing that happened during that little Vegas trip where I was super depressed. One of my homegirls hit me up and she's like, hey, I'm at the Golden Nugget. You should come. And I was like, all right, cool. So I pull up. This is one of my best friends, bro. I on the topic of being thankful, is my friend Brooke. And I'm thankful for Brooke because I have so much love and admiration for this girl. She's so awesome. We've been best friends since high school. But she's like, come to the Golden Nugget. Let's hang out. I got off work. We're just chilling. So we're there. We're on the fucking little penny slot gambling machines that they have built into the bars so you can get free drinks. And we're just drinking and pretending to play Keno or whatever the fuck. And one of her friends comes. And her friend's like, hey, it's my first time meeting her. I don't know this girl. She's like, hey, I introduced myself. We're like talking and all this shit. And she's like, hold on. I got to go pick up Coke real quick. And we're like, what the fuck? And she's like, yeah, my dealer's here. She's like, you want to come with me? And I was like, sure. So I go with her and her drug dealer pulls up to the parking lot of the Golden Nugget, and she's there. And I'll never forget this motherfucker. He was so chill. He's like, oh, hey, what's up, bro? And I was like, hey, he's in his car. He didn't get out of the car. And I look in the backseat of the fucking car, and there's a whole ass baby there. There's a whole ass baby and asleep in a booster seat in the back seat. This motherfucker's like 6 months old. I was like, are you dead ass, bro? You dealing drugs with your child in the back? Hey, whatever you got to do to make ends meet, bro, as long as you're not hurting yourself or no one else, I don't give a fuck. So I'm watching this girl pick up the Coke, and then she's like, cool. And then boom, that guy gets off. And then she's like, get in my car. And I was like, okay, it's the car literally parked right next to the car that the drug dealer was just at. And I get in the car, and she just starts doing bumps, key bumps. And I'm there at my lowest just watching her, and she's like, you want a bump? And I was like, kind of hesitant. She's like, come on, it'll make you feel better. I was like, all right. So then now I'm just doing bumps with this stranger I met fucking 10 minutes ago, the friend of a friend. And we go back up, and she's like, oh, hey, you guys are back. And then I'm just there, coked out, drunk, and sad, bro. And I remember I was probably stayed for another 10 minutes, and I was looking around, and I was like, I can't be here right now. I was like, I have to go home. I have to go home. So I looked at Brooke, and I was like, hey, Brooke, I think I'm going to head out. And she's like, oh, really? She's like, what's wrong? And I was like, she could tell something was off. Like, even she knew my energy was not there. I was not myself, bro. I was the broken shell of a man that I used to be. And I was like, I just got to go home. And I got in my car, and I started crying, and I drove home in tears. And then I finally just got home, and I went to bed. And that night I was breaking down. There was many nights during this time of my life where I would have full blown like anxiety attacks, full blown like just crying and like crying myself to sleep pretty much, bro. And I was like, something has to change. The way I'm living my life right now is not benefiting me. I don't feel better. I was like, I've hooked up with X amount of girls. I don't feel better. I'm doing drugs and living my best Vegas life with strangers, and I don't feel better. I'm hanging out and going out every night and surrounding myself with friends and people, but I don't feel better because I wasn't healing. I was numbing. I was coping. And so then I hit up my friend Alex, and I had only hung out with her once before in my life. Another time where I was not as depressed as this time, but a little sad. I was on the edge of depression, and I went on a hike with this girl, and we had the most amazing hike ever, bro. And she opened me up to holistic practices and spirituality and meditations. I mean, I already knew about all this stuff, but hearing it from her was really cool and really insightful. And so I felt like this glow after hanging out with her the first time, way prior to this. And so in my darkest moment, I was back in Vegas, and I felt like shit. I knew something needed to change. I hit her up, and I was like, hey, bro, I'm in town. I'm really not feeling amazing. I'm kind of depressed. I'm going through it. I literally just said, hey, I'm going through it. I'd like to see you or something like that. And she texted back. She said, you're always going through it, with like a bunch of laughing, crying faces. And I laughed. And then finally we met up outside. We went to Yogurtland, which is a frozen yogurt place. And we were just posted up. And keep in mind, this is my second time hanging out with this girl. But this is how influential she was to my self-improvement and opening my eyes up to what I needed to do. She was like, I told her everything I'd been doing in Vegas, and she's like, obviously those aren't healthy ways to cope. She's like, you're not going to heal like that. And I was just explaining a lot of stuff to her. I was explaining to her how I felt, my breakup, how it ended, this and that. And then she was the first person that was like, well, have you given sobriety a thought? And I was like, cutting out alcohol? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, that sounds fucking terrible. Why would I want to do that? And she was like, have you given celibacy a thought, cutting out sex? And I was like, that sounds fucking god awful too, bro. I was like, why the hell would I want to do that? But realistically, she's like, I'm not saying for life, dummy, but like, try it for 6 months, try it for a year. She was like, there was a point where I was feeling like I was giving my body to just anybody. And so like, I tried celibacy, and she's like, and it worked. It made me get a grasp of my worth again. It made me come into my own skin, and it made me realize this is a sacred thing that I should just not be letting anyone get a piece of or take a part of me that is so intimate, you know? And she was explaining that story to me, and I was like, yeah, I see that. And then she's like, I'm going to recommend to you some books. And then she did recommend me the books. And I remember the next day I woke up early in the morning and I went out and I bought them. I took a picture and I sent them to her and I was like, I got these books. I'm going to read them. And she's like, hey, I'm wishing you the best. She's like, I know you're going to feel better and you're going to grow and you're going to be amazing. But she's like, I'm wishing you the best. And I just had to thank her. And even now, this girl has no idea how influential she was on my path and on my journey. And I told her that when it was her birthday, I wished her a happy birthday. And I was like, you've changed my life in ways that you don't even know, like genuinely. And I still mean that to this day. So she's the shout out for today's podcast because she was there for me when no one else was. And she was only introducing good things and beneficial things. And she was looking out for me. And a lot of the practices and things that I implemented into my life, I owe to her. She opened my eyes to so many cool things, and she introduced me to this book. It's called How to Do the Work by Dr. Nicole LaPera. I don't know. I'm sorry if I butchered that. But it's recognizing your patterns, heal from your past, and create yourself. And this is the book I needed. It's literally a holistic self-improvement book. And if you're feeling how I was back in the day, or if you just want an amazing read that quite literally this book changed my life and redirected the course of where I was heading at that time. And I owe all the thanks to Alex for recommending it. But this is the first book genuinely in my fucking life, even with book reports and everything that I had to do in school, that I read front to back, cover to cover, and loved it. I fucking highlighted sections. Like if you go through, like a lot of it's just highlighted, just ready to go. So I could just jump in at any point and be like, oh yes, and just reskim. But I learned so much from this, and I would recommend this book. It focuses on the mind, body, soul connection and how to heal from childhood traumas, how to heal from patterns, how to get over, in my case, breakups, how to become you and be comfortable in your skin. And this was the book I needed at the time. So towards the end of my Vegas stay, instead of going out and instead of hanging out with my friends and trying to slip and slime mommies and do all this dumb shit, the last like 2 weeks, I just stayed home and I just fucking read this book every night and I meditated. And there was a lot of meditations where I was crying, bro, because I was battling demons in these goddamn meditations, bro. There was one that was healing your inner child, and it's a guided meditation by her. It's on her website. And I did that meditation and I came out bawling like a baby, bro, because there was a lot of traumas and a lot of past events that influenced the person I was at that time. That explained a lot of the drinking and explained a lot of the reckless, impulsive behavior, explained a lot of the fucked up things I did in that relationship. Because I'm not going to lie, I was a fucking asshole in that relationship. I wouldn't want to be with that person. The person I brought forward in that relationship is someone I would not want to be with. That's someone I wouldn't even want to be fucking friends with, dude. And that's the person I was. So at a certain point, through reading this book, I realized that I had to shed the skin I was in. I had to kill off the version of myself I was portraying and living as, and basically be reborn again, resurrect myself, become somebody new. And it wasn't fucking easy, bro. It was not fucking easy, but I'm here a year later telling you the story, letting you know that though it wasn't easy, it was absolutely doable. And I believe in every single one of you that you can have an equally touching or an equally powerful transformation as the one I did, man. And I'm going to tell you some things that helped me get here. Obviously, working out religiously helped get my mind off my depression. It helped get my mind off my ex and my breakup. And feeling that physical pain and that sense of like breaking and beating down your muscles, feeling that physical pain distracted me from the emotional pain. And this was a good distraction. This wasn't a distraction like, oh, getting drunk and forgetting about it is distracting me from the pain. That's temporary. But this was genuinely distracting me from the emotion. And it was something that was bettering my life, my lifestyle, my health, my physical fitness, and making me feel confident again. It wasn't any more of this liquid confidence from alcohol. It wasn't any more of this cocaine confidence from that one night or whatever the fuck it was, even though I didn't feel confident that night, bro. It wasn't any of this fucking ecstasy, Molly confidence that I've felt before in past iterations of myself. You know, this was real, authentic, genuine confidence coming from me for once. And eventually down the line, deeper in my holistic self-improvement, I realized, and this was once I was in my new relationship and I had been doing this self-improvement shit from November to around like February of this year, I think, I said, a lot of the dumb shit I've done in my life was under the influence of some sort of substance. I said, let's cut that out. And that's when I told myself, I want to be healthy. I'm cutting out vaping. I want to be in charge of my mind. I always want to be the captain of my body. And I don't want to make any dumb rash decisions anymore, especially entering a new relationship with my current girlfriend, bro. I liked her so much that I was like, I saw the damage and detriments that alcohol played in my last relationship and a lot of the dumb decisions I made. I don't want to do that again. I don't want to put this person through it. And I don't want to jeopardize something that is blossoming into something beautiful. So I cut out alcohol. That was, for me at least, a big step in my self-improvement journey and my holistic healing. That was a big part of my healing journey. Was I used to depend on this because I was sad and I didn't want to feel anything. Now that I've taken the time to feel what I needed to through my meditations, to feel and sit there and be alone in my thoughts and accept the circumstances and realize that some things are out of my control, but I can do everything in my power to take charge of my life and to steer the things that I can control into the right direction, you know? And cutting alcohol was the next step. Hitting the gym and focusing on my health was the next step, bro. All these things were the next step. And of course, I got to give a shout out to my fucking girlfriend, because my girlfriend caught me kind of like peeking out of this depressive phase. I was getting out of it and I was like dating again and I was looking around and just kind of like, I was balls deep in healing, bro. This is when I got back to LA after this trip. I never finished this trip. I hugged my dad, gave him a fat kiss on the cheek. I said, thank you for letting me stay here, Dad, but I think I'm ready to go back to LA. I think I'm ready to get my life fucking back together, bro. So I came out to LA and I was just hanging out. And then I started hanging out with my girlfriend now, but at the time as friends, and realizing that I really liked her. She was super cool. And I felt better about myself. So I felt like I was being more authentic and genuine at the start of that relationship than I was at the start of my last fucking relationship, bro. And I just felt good about myself. And though I wasn't 100% ready, though I wasn't 100% healed and a new man and stuff, my girlfriend was super patient and still to this day is very patient with me and was a big part of my healing experience as well, bro. She has always been so kind and empathetic and loving, and she gave me love at a time where I was just learning how to love myself again, you know? I was just learning how to love myself for the first time, realistically, and she was also supplying a big source of that love, so I got to give a shout out to her because she's genuinely been amazing and a rock for me since the beginning of our relationship. But through that relationship and through the course of this year and through cutting out all those things that weren't helping me heal, but were only helping me numb, I grew a lot, man. And a lot of my priorities shifted. A lot of my goals and aspirations shifted. A lot of my priorities used to be, I want to go out and get fucked up with my friends and have sex with everybody, you know? And now it's not even a thought. I don't fucking remember the last time I went out. And now if I do go out, I'm not even tempted in the slightest to pick up a drink. I'm not even tempted in the slightest to go start hoeing or go start doing all this dumb shit. These are things that just, they don't fit my lifestyle anymore. And it's crazy to say because that's been me my whole life. And those are more demons that I had to battle to get to the course I am now. It got to the point where I was like, why am I going to the party and not doing the work on myself, not investing into this music, to eventually down the road be the party, be making the money, be the one that's supplying this amazing time for people or whatever it is. I was like, you put off music, you put off a lot of things. You've always said that you wanted to be buff and strong, and you just never obtained that, or you never did anything worthwhile, bro. And I feel like this year, actually applying myself, digging myself out of that funk, and focusing on the gym, focusing on myself, focusing on my relationship, on being a good partner, nurturing a great relationship, focusing on this podcast, starting this fucking podcast, bro. It's been a year of this podcast. If you think about it, it's almost been a year of this fucking podcast. But like starting and grinding this out, figuring it out, trial and error, booking stuff, putting myself out there to get a new agent and booking stuff, and just everything I've done this year has been from a positive place, as opposed to how last year ended. The mindset has transformed. Obviously, the physical body has transformed. The goals, the productivity, the motivation, everything has transformed, because instead of seeking external validation and external attention and all these external forces and letting other people assign my value to me, I said, I'm tired of feeling like dog water, bro. And so I looked inward and fixed what needed to be fixed inside of me. And again, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I don't think you ever reach a point where you're like, that's it, I've done all the healing I can. You can always grow. There's always room for improvement. But I've gotten fucking far, bro. And I'm back on the topic of thankfulness. I'm thankful for that. And I feel like a lot of you guys have kind of witnessed the evolution by listening to this podcast, watching the podcast, whatever it may be. And like I said, it wasn't easy. And there's days where I still wake up and I still feel like I don't feel completely worthless, but I still feel like, bro, you could be doing so much more. Like, you're 25, you're getting old. All this chatter starts happening, but it's not sad chatter, because I don't fucking have room for that negativity or that mindset or that chemical imbalance anymore. Quite literally, because I did a year's worth of practice, a year's worth of work to get me to a point where even on my worst days, I'm still happy to be here. I'm still happy to be alive. I'm still positive. I still have some sort of drive to tackle the things I want to tackle. And even when I fucking relapse on whatever it is, not drugs or alcohol, but like if I have a bad day and I fucking jack off and I'm like, oh, I feel like shit, bro. How am I going to get on here and preach that you shouldn't watch porn, you shouldn't jack off? And I sent one, like, you still made so much progress. You still made so much growth. That one time in 3 months isn't going to fucking knock you off your horse, because the foundation's already set, bro. The foundation's already set. And now I'm not tempted by any of the old things I was previously tempted by. I feel like a new man, bro. And that's a year of healing and a year of growth. I feel like I've rambled up here for long enough, but shout out to Alex for putting me on. Like I said, that girl has no idea how much she's positively influenced and benefited my life. So I'm always wishing her the best and sending her so much love and positive energy. Shout out to my girl for being patient with me and growing with me, because even though I was growing as a person, I was growing with her along the course of this year. We're about to hit our 1-year anniversary, and I couldn't have asked for a better partner to grow and to live life with and experience all these things with, man, because she truly has been amazing. And again, I want to thank you guys for rocking with me and being a part of my self-improvement journey, for being a part of my spiritual, mental, physical growth, man. You guys are seeing it like it's a fucking TV show, bro. Like it's unwinding upon you like it's a fucking series, bro. And I guess the point of all of this is be thankful for the life you have, man. Because even at your lowest, it's not going to be easy, but you can get out of it. And a lot of the times you just have to you have to look inward and bro, it wasn't fucking easy. You got to battle fucking demons and you got to want it, but you can get out of any state or form of depression. And like I say this all the time on this podcast, your Floral Father's here for you, man. Because I've been through it. I know what it's like. And I know that it gets better. So never hesitate to hit me up, bro. I always love to hear from you guys. And if I can help or be of any benefit to you guys, even in the slightest way, I feel good. I feel good. I'm here to help you. This community that I'm piecing together is here to help each other and lift each other up and get each other out of bad either mindsets or situations in life and flourish and become the people that we envision ourselves being, man. And it just, you put one foot in front of the other, one day at a time, one task at a time to get to the overall big picture and become the fucking person you want to be. So I think I'm going to end it there, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into this podcast. Negrito Baby finally wants to, he wants to say goodbye. At least he's in the closing. Negrito Baby. And I'm thankful for you, Negrito Baby. I'm really thankful for my cats, bro. They are also two just fucking ethereal beings, ethereal little goblins that are in my life and have brought me so much joy and love and gratitude, bro. I'm so thankful for my cats. But guys, we're learning, we're growing, we're evolving, and we're becoming the best versions of ourselves and presenting the best versions of ourselves that we can daily. So let's continue to love and be positive and be thankful for everyone in your life. Be thankful to have a life, and let's continue to foster and nurture and grow a good self-improvement community here. So as always, I'm sending love and positive energy your way, Negrito. Say goodbye to the audience. Aww. I love you guys. Till next week. You are very cute, and I love you a lot.